Hi, I'm Drew, and today we're going to be talking about how to drive standard and eat a blizzard concurrently. Driving standard and eating a blizzard concurrently. Okay, so who knows how to drive? Show of hands. Who knows how to drive? All right. And who knows how to eat ice cream? Show of hands. Okay, so everybody knows how to drive. Everybody knows how to eat ice cream, but it might not be as common that you're aware of how to drive a standard transmission and eat ice cream at the same time. So there's a couple of reasons why you might want to have these skills. One of them is if you aspire to be a soccer mom or dad, ferrying your children around to various sporting events, eating while driving at the same time. Now I'm going to solicit some other suggestions. Why would these skills be useful? Show of hands. Why would it be useful to know how to drive and eat at the same time? Brian, any ideas?
To save time.
Save time. Okay, that's another suggestion. I'll add another one to the list. Road trips. I find, at least from personal experience, I find that driving and eating at the same time is great for road trips when you want to get a lot of miles in during the day and you get really hungry and you need a snack and you've got to go to Dairy Queen and get a blizzard, which is a cup filled with ice cream. So the goals for this talk are we're going to go over driving, we're going to go over eating ice cream, and then we're going to coordinate the two. So, starting with our goal of driving and eating at the same time, we break this into two components: eating and driving. So, who knows how to drive a manual transmission? Everybody knows how to drive, but who has experience with standard transmission? Wow, that's the first time I've ever seen a room full of people who actually know how to drive a stick shift. So, you need to use all four of your appendages in order to drive standard. You need to use your left foot, and what's that going to be on, Junghan? What do you use your left foot for when you drive standard?
I didn't use left foot.
Oh, you don't use your left foot? How do you drive? For a manual?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to use our left foot for the clutch. And now somebody else, what are we going to use the right foot for while driving manual transmission?
Accelerator.
Accelerator. So gas or the brake. And here's where things get a little bit more tricky. We also need to use both hands. We're going to use there are variations on this, but for the purpose of this talk, we're going to concentrate on using the left hand for steering. So this is going to be sort of like gangster style, where you lean back and you hold the steering wheel with your left hand. And then the right hand is for what? Who has a suggestion for what do we use the right hand for while driving a manual transmission?
Just driving to shift.
For just driving to shift. Thank you, Matt. So when we're just driving, we're going to use the right hand to shift. So this is driving separately, and we're going to do a short demonstration for the active learning portion. Everybody already has the materials they need, which is your chair. I need everybody to pretend like they're driving a manual transmission. So feel the clutch with your left feet, the pretend clutch. Put your left hand on the wheel, put your right hand on the stick shift, and then pretend like you're shifting gears. All right. Okay, so we got that down. We got the driving down. Now I'm going to progress on to the eating part separately. And then once we get through the driving, which we're done with, once we get through the eating, then we're going to put it all together. So there are a variety of ways to eat a blizzard, but one of the most common ways is to hold the cup in one hand and hold the spoon in the other hand. So once again, we're using our left hand to, actually I made a mistake here. The typical way is to use your hand to hold it and your other hand to eat it, but we already have all the hands engaged, so we're going to have to modify this eating arrangement a little bit. So, what are some ideas for parts of the body that aren't yet being used? To hold, we needed to come up with an alternative way to hold this blizzard while driving. So let's brainstorm. What parts of the body aren't being used yet?
Mouth.
Chin, okay, chin, mouth. What else?
Legs, shoulder.
Legs. Okay, so legs, this is a good suggestion. In fact, it's one that I thought of, and that leads me into the next part of the lesson, which is we're going to use our thighs to hold ice cream.
It's gonna be so cold.
You bring up an excellent point. It can be rather uncomfortable to hold cold ice cream in between your warm thighs. So, this brings me to one of the key points, which is it's important to insulate the cup of ice cream. So, actually, we're going to organize these in a little bit different way. So the overall goals here, what I want you to be able to take out of this lesson are the three important things, which is looking good, feeling good, and safety third. And your point brings us to the feeling good part, and that is it's important to insulate. This is going to both keep the ice cream warm, and it's going to keep you more comfortable during this engagement. So the next step is we need to be eating, and rather using the spoon, which is also with the right hand. So the next part of the demonstration is everybody take their water bottle. I think most people have one. If you don't, then you can use a pencil as an alternative. And once again, you're sitting in the driver's seat. Place the ice cream between your thighs and pretend like you're eating with only the right hand. You can't use your left hand. So we operate the spoon with the right hand. Okay, so at this point, we've reviewed eating separately, we've reviewed driving, and now we need to put it all together. And this leads us to the key take-home, which is coordination. We're going to go over the theory of coordination just a little bit, and then for your homework assignment, it will be to practice the coordination of driving with eating. And this is the first key point, which is looking good. If you can coordinate, then you will be both driving and eating at the same time, and hence you'll be looking good. So the final part of the demonstration is we're going to put it all together. So you are back in your driver's seat. You've got the ice cream between your thighs. You've got a pen in your hand, which is your spoon. We have the hand on the wheel. And here's where the coordination part comes in. You're going to take a spoonful, you're going to eat it, then you're going to place the spoon down on your thigh and place it on the shifter. And we're going to alternate between the shifter and the spoon. So we'll do it all together. Take a bite, we take the spoon, put it down, and while chewing, we shift. And this is the key point for driving and eating at the same time, which is to coordinate, which will keep you looking good, insulate, which will keep you feeling good, and for safety third, we're going to go over just a couple of contingencies. So there are some common pitfalls to driving and eating at the same time. Let's brainstorm. What are some possible things that could go wrong if you're driving and eating at the same time? Let me have a show of hands. Who has an idea for what could go wrong? Matt.
Brain freeze.
Brain freeze. Fernando.
You can get into an accident.
You could get into an accident. So both of these are examples of things that could take your concentration off the driving. The interplay of the ice cream and the driving could take your concentration off the driving and therefore cause a potential safety hazard. So we have to prioritize. And if you have to choose between the two, eating and driving, you have to choose driving over eating. And making sure you're maintaining a safely operated vehicle. So if you have to, you just have to drop the spoon and put your hand back on the wheel or the shifter in order to maintain safety third. So that concludes our lesson of eating and driving at the same time. And now you should all be able to practice and hence become experts in eating a blizzard and driving concurrently.
All right, thanks.